Good day, folks. Welcome to Week 4 Financial Statement Analysis Summer 2020 as we begin this week, which takes us to the last half of the semester. What should you be working on? Application Project 2, which is due June 18th. You should be finishing up Module 4 and starting Module 5. We will have a quiz on June 18th also. Complete and schedule your current events presentation. What have we done so far? Everything is graded and upgraded at this point. When you add up where we are, putting in Application Project 1, we're at 40% of the grade is already done for this semester. The modules, you should be working on Module 4, Analysis of Principal Financial Statements. That is cash flow, liquidity, capital, and then the DuPont analysis. So I encourage you to go back, start over with Module 4 and look at them. We're trying to interpret what financial statements are telling us and tie it to strategies the company is working on to keep this all within context. We're not just going to look at the small pieces, but how do they all connect and interrelate to each. We have Quiz 2 coming up, and it's going to be available on Thursday, June 18th from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Once you start, though, you must finish. The quiz is worth 17 points or 17% of your grade. So you can anticipate that it will be a fairly substantive test that you should allow sufficient time for. It's going to build on everything we've covered so far, but the basic focus will be on accounting considerations. We've got to start to see how this comes into play. The analysis, which is a big piece of what we're doing, the quality of financial statements, and in IFRS. Application Project 2 is worth 15% of your grade, no later than 11:59 on June 18th. So you now have two big events coming up, not this week, but the following week. But please try to make sure you plan your time so you can do it right. Watch the instructional video before starting. It really walks you through everything you need to do. Don't try to take a shortcut. You're going to need to make decisions about what level of detail should be in summary financial statements. So we want to look at materiality and meaningfulness as you do that. You want to avoid generalities and platitudes. Okay, we've talked about that a little bit before, but try not to make, expenses are up because of inflation. Well, okay, no, that doesn't cut it. Commenting on net income is not as valuable as looking at specific lines. Because remember, net income is a result of revenue less expenses. So you want to comment on what is driving each one, the detail lines. When examining liquidity, think about what it means within the context of COVID-19. Will the firm have enough liquidity? Has the firm had sufficient liquidity? What additional liquidity needs will they have? And the project should take you 7 to 10 hours to complete, so there's a fair amount of work here. Okay, current events presentation, which is a key component of this course, so that you can see how some of the things that are occurring in the world today will impact financial statement analysis. At this point, everyone should have an article, and you should have your discussion presentation just about ready to go. It's worth 10% of your grade, so give it that attention. We need to schedule your presentation by June 15th, so please provide me with a couple times you are available between now and then, and we will schedule them. There's a number of them also scheduled already, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, there's two things. There's the actual presentation itself, and then there's your participation engagement with other presentations. So you need to either participate in a real-time discussion with the current issues presentation, or review and comment on 3 presentations on a virtual historical basis. Now, the presentations are intended to be a dialogue. It's not going to be like you're just going to do a presentation and then at the end we'll clap and ask questions. But we're going to go through this and have a dialogue, because in business you never get an opportunity to get through a presentation without someone jumping in, asking questions. So what I will do is I will post the times and Zoom invites of presentations. You need to be present and participate in the discussion if you want to do it live. And honestly, this is the easiest part to do. But if you don't have time or you don't want to do that, you need to review the discussions, which will be posted. They'll be recorded and posted, and then engage in a virtual dialogue with the presenters. And that has to be something of substantive comments or questions and a back and forth. So I encourage you to come and join us in person. It's worth 6% of your grade. So it's sort of, again, it's a key piece when you add everything up. There's a lot of different ways we're trying to assess and make sure that you are getting the full experience. And this aspect of it needs to be completed by June 22nd. And that'll essentially give you that last week for finalizing your last project, and we'll be done. Amazing, isn't it? What do we have coming up this week? On Monday at 6 p.m., Brooke and Natalie are going to talk about COVID-19, how it's creating a greater focus on the going concern comments in audit opinions. This provides detail to see application of Module 5. And this is your Zoom invite, which you can click on that and join us. On Tuesday, Sarah and Emma are going to be discussing an interesting article, a retail reckoning. Has or will COVID-19 be a fatal blow to the brick and mortar retail business? We've seen Pier 1 is closing, Gap has problems, JCPenney is closing, Bed Bath & Beyond is closing number ones. Tuesday mornings, we're seeing a huge closure within the retail business. But did COVID-19 really be that something that will knock it out? So join us at 9 for Sarah and Emma. On Friday, Sahar will be discussing how strong companies may acquire companies weakened by COVID-19. And here's the Zoom input for that. So I'll let you know if more are there. So if you have any questions, please do let me know.